John used to make me think, and I think that's why I enjoyed working with him. Because he would ask me stuff, and I would really have to think hard about it. And I mean, even with experiences, he says, and I actually didn't learn this from John. I learned it from my recovery. And he said, make that bad experience, that traumatic experience, good. And I never thought I could. Like that, when my childhood wasn't that great, and a lot of horrific things happened. And he said, make it good. And I'm thinking, you can't make it good. And then he said, yeah, you can. He says, you share it. See, there's that word again, You share it. And he says, you're sitting in this circle and you talk about that beating you took and how traumatic it was, And this guy's over there, he's saying, holy geez, that happened to me. So it goes around, and then we're done the circle. But after the circle's done, he comes up and he says, how do you talk about that? He says, that happened to me. Now we're talking. Now it's good, because I'm using it to help him. That's sharing. That's using something terrible, traumatic, and you're using it to help somebody else now. That's trust. That's truth. That's what our people were. We were good at that. We started off sharing and truth and trust. That's a really good analogy of trust and truth and sharing. Using something bad to make it good. That's what we got to do now with everything that we're going through. These unmarked graves, residential schools, the assimilation, decolonization. We got to find a way to make it good. How are we going to use it to help each other? How do we reestablish that trust? That's my thoughts, and I see it work. I've seen it work. That's what makes it tangible. I've seen it work. But you have to find people who are good at doing that. And that the community trust. That's what I tell them. This is your class. This is your ceremony. This is your belief. And if you can, this is ours. The other side of that too is like a lot of people think that white people can't come to ceremonies. White people are welcome to ceremonies. They just can't facilitate ceremonies. They can't conduct ceremonies. That's our responsibility. Like we talk about roles and responsibilities. If we let other people do our ceremonies, that's like telling Creator we don't want to be responsible no more. We're responsible people. We know what we're supposed to do, and some of us have to demonstrate that responsibility. That's how I learned. Somebody showed me. And they said, this is why. I taught a class yesterday and it was kind of funny. One of the girls said, everything you've taught us, she says, is like common sense. I said, that's being Anishinaabe. That's being Indian, like common sense. But what she was saying is, nobody ever told me how to fit it in my life, the responsibilities of what I'm doing. I knew I was supposed to do it, but I didn't know why. I didn't know how to do it. I was guessing. We shouldn't have to guess at our life. We know how to make good decisions. We know how to be committed. We know how to be consistent. We have a good belief. But how many people have shown us that? Usually it's do what I say, not what I do. Like I think about this stuff, I'm thinking about this stuff all the time. And it's always like, why is it so hard to have people to tell us why we do what we do? And a lot of it stems from 1875 to 1925. That 50 years where it was against the law to be Indian. It's still against the law to be Indian, but that 50 years, that's the starting point.